This program is proudly brought to you by Malta Guinness.
Welcome to the show. This is the Progressive Woman Show. That space for us as women, for the celebration of everything female, but it's also for the conversation of everything female. Our strengths, our weaknesses, our successes, our deficiencies, and ultimately how we can make ourselves better to make this world better. Today, I'm excited. I don't have enough words to describe how I'm feeling today in the studio. First of all, because it's International Women's Day, it's our day, but also because of the people who have graced our show today. Let me quickly introduce them. We'll take a quick break and then we'll come back. So let me quickly introduce my special guest for today. I have in the studio with me, I have Her Excellency Grace Jeanet Mason. She is the South African High Commissioner to Ghana. I have in the studio Her Excellency Anette Chao Garcia. She is the Ambassador of the Republic of Cuba. I have in the studio Her Excellency Frances Virginia Anderson. She is Sierra Leone's High Commissioner to Ghana. So you know that today is as special as the Women's Day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This program is proudly brought to you by Malta Guinness.
Welcome back from that break. This is the Progressive Woman Show. Your Excellencies, thank you. Thank you. I'm so honored to have you all in the studio today. Thank you so much for making time and for being awesome women. Let's start from there. Thank you so much. So, first of all, just International Women's Day. There are some women who feel that it's cliche, it's not serving any purpose. There are some of us who insist that it's important. How do you feel about International Women's Day?
Then we are shy. I don't believe that. We women, we cannot be shy.
Oh, no.
We must be all time then in the front, because if not, we will lose our opportunity. To mark a day for us is to mark a day to remember that we must work together, to fight together, to be for others, just to have more projects and to have more ideas, and then to fight for our opportunities. We are not asking for more things for us, less for men. We want to have same opportunities, to be equals. If we are in the same field, we can do more. Then a day like this is to remember that we can do more for that opportunity.
Well, I think it is just about the same thing. Well, being a woman, in fact, should be a plus, because, it is from a woman, or through a woman, that life comes into this world. That's the original formation, of humanity. But to say the equality aspect is fine, or was fine, I really was not one of those who supported that. But thankfully, now we've moved from equality to equity. And so the difference is glaringly clear. And so now that with with specific needs of specific people, it brings us up to some level that we can all operate on the same platform. Is better than just limiting us to equality. So this is something that we should celebrate, no matter where you are on the face of the earth, because the future of the world is a woman.
Absolutely. The future is female. Just your
I concur with everything that my sisters and colleagues
have said, and I must say to them today, I say it all the time, that they inspire me as well. But for me, I even take it more personally. In terms of the work that I do, I believe in inclusivity, getting women the same opportunities. I've also taken it a bit further by including a course that I'm currently doing. I'm doing my master's at the Kofi Annan Institute of Peace and Security. So I'm doing gender and peace and security. So I'm combining the theoretical part. My lecturers are very patient with me to juggle my responsibilities and still attend weekend classes. But it's just to have a broader understanding of the role of women and in all fields. And for me, in diplomacy, peace and security, that for me is an opportunity that I would like to veer into more.
Right, absolutely. So let's look at this year's theme, embracing equity, and I'm so happy that you sort of touched on that, embracing equity, right? And it's so meaningful because equality says give everybody 2. Equity says give some people 3, sometimes give some people 5, because if you give everybody 2, we might still not have the desired effect. And so, yes, this year's theme speaks to me, and I'm happy that you also brought up the theme, because it's important in our struggles as women that everybody appreciates that sometimes what we need is more, not just equality for its sake, but more so for leading women like you, because you are leading women in diplomacy, in governance, even just seeing you, I'm sitting in the studio with 3 governments. In essence, this is what this is. I have 3 countries, whole countries, in my studio right now. That's the power that's in this small Maame Ama studio at Pan African TV right now. First of all, let's unpack the conversation. I would want us to look at perhaps our successes, where we've come from so far, in terms of women. Then we can look at where we are still deficient. Then we can end our conversation today with what we need to do, the call to action. So let's start from the great place of success, of celebrating where we've come from.
Let me tell you something. Actually, when you are talking about women, for us, it's difficult not only because we are diplomats, not only because we are representing our governments. It is more difficult because in the society there are some roles pre-established. They are very, very well determined that we must be good in our works because we fight for it long time ago. But we must be good in our house. We must take care of our children. We must study more because if you want an opportunity, they won't give you the opportunity for nothing. You must write more than many men, just you to have the opportunity. And it is the same in all countries. Then there are some things that change. For example, in my country, I can tell you that we have a plan to develop women. It is a positive policy. We are more than 51 women in positions in our government. It's a huge number in talking about that thing. But telling you the truth, we can do more if we don't see another woman as a competition. We must work together. We must not fight against men. We must fight against things that the society imposes on us.
The structure.
Yes, and to change a structure is very difficult, and only governments can help us.
Right.
We were talking before about some topics about it, and we are representative of our countries, and then we can talk about our countries. But I can tell you here, talking about Ghana, that Ghana is a good country for women because we are a lot of ladies ambassadors. Then it talks very good things about Ghana.
Right.
It talks very good things about your achievement here.
Right.
Here.
Right. I love that. You know, this one is one of my favorite quotes. A woman's fight is harder. And in essence, that's what you said. It's harder. You have to shine brighter. You have to do more. You have to, come out more to be acknowledged as having what it takes. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, who will take care of your children?
Right.
Who will take care of your hair? That's why I cut mine. Because you must be, if you understand,
You just told me something. I need to cut my hair too.
No, but you understand, lady, you must have a beautiful hair. You must be well dressed and cover all the part of your body as the society says.
Listen.
And you must study a lot because you cannot say four-letter words because you are a lady. Then you must be very, I cannot be like this. I must be free as all men.
Right.
Men, they can do all that they want.
You just
they
get up and you go.
anything. Yes,
It's true. A man gets up and
but
goes.
it is very bad if we, as women, we don't understand that if you are beautiful, you are beautiful. And finish. You don't need that.
I mean, you can
competition.
say that because you are just beautiful. So I mean, you can
Thank
say
you,
that.
thank you very much. Thank you.
Me, I need the extra hair.
No,
to
you
help
are
me.
Who told you that? You see, that is the society that told her that she is not beautiful enough. Patterns of beauty, it comes with the society.
Right.
And also the society told ladies that we must compete for men.
Right.
Who told you that?
Right.
If they don't want us, they're a problem.
Right.
Definitely no competing for no man. But Annette's correct.
Right.
Um,
Right.
Gender stereotypes. Those are what society projects on women. We understand that this is a patriarchal society, but those stereotypes should not define who we are.
Right.
It should not define who I am, what I am capable of. And women should have a seat at the table.
Right.
There's this cliche that if the table is not there, we build our own tables. But you find a seat at decision making in governance, in all sectors and spheres, women, everything about women, nothing about us without us. And in our respective governments, and as Anette has alluded to, in Ghana, yes, we have over, I think I last counted, Francis, we were about 18 female diplomats in Ghana, and that is an achievement because we are here to represent our countries. We define the spaces where we're in. We contribute to diplomacy, and especially when you discuss gender parity. In our respective countries, in South Africa, we ensure inclusivity. You deal with gender-based violence, and women are always vulnerable, so we always have to ensure that we do our best to ensure inclusivity of women and just bridge the divide and the gender parity as well.
Right. So we are still on successes.
Yes, I can't agree more with what my sisters have said. I got here in 2018, and prior to my departure from Sierra Leone to start my tour here, my president says we should, our own theme was economic diplomacy. And I realized that Sierra Leone has never had any activity of that sort in Ghana before. And our diplomatic relations go way back to the 1980s, the inception, it started from those times. And so I had to start working my mind around a lot of things. Let me be the first person to do this. And honestly, it was a very tough thing to do. But I was able to rally around fellow colleagues, and I made sure that all the continents that are represented here, I got people from their countries. Colleagues were able to come on board to help. And so that was just massive. We sat about, over 265 people through the investment seminar we hosted here. And we did that in 2019 of March. That was just 5 months after
That's
I
how
had
you landed.
started
Wow.
my tour. You can imagine how, challenging that was, but we pulled it through. I'm saying this to say that for me, being a woman does not stop me from achieving what I want to achieve. There is nothing like, although people believe that some areas are male dominated, some of us can dare to go beyond, areas where people think this one is a no-go area. It's just in the mind. Everything is in the mind. And so I know I can do this. I just know how to arrange myself and put it to God in prayer. I'm moving. I've worked with these two beautiful ladies before in an area where it's it's a deprived area. We went there to help, to give free medical care, and Anette was very instrumental, in the medical aspect.
Don't.
No.
I want to let me tell you.
No, wait,
Inspiration. This lady is inspiration.
No, this is very important. When we are together, when we help each other, we have to acknowledge that. If she hadn't done her part, definitely I would not have been able to do it. So it was a collective effort of all of us. And so I have said it before and I say it all the time. Our unity, the strength that is in our unity is just out of this world. But it is something that is, it's tough to get through to everyone because we all have the ways we think and do things. For as long as we know that together we can actually form this very tight, formidable force and go as far as we want to go, we definitely have a lot more to work on. So I encourage women, let's put our hands together, irrespective of where you are on the face of the earth, north, south, east, west. We are women first before you think of color.
Listen, that spoke to my heart right there. We are women first. First, we are women. That constituency, I was saying solidarity earlier. You were correcting me. You said sorority.
Yes.
But it's everything. And please allow me to, maybe perhaps when it's coming from me, she wouldn't resist. All the things that this team has been able to do. I have to say thank you before we go ahead. It's just awesome. Thank you.
Let me take the opportunity.
Again, another thing before I'm sorry, but when we have leaders that also support the women, it's easier.
Yes.
I would say this with all humility that my president, the president of Sierra Leone, His Excellency President Dr. Julius Maada Bio, is one he-for-she champion. And as I speak now, you can Google and check. He just passed, the Gateway Bill, the bill for women, where he's giving us 30%, quota to operate everywhere, including politics. And so now in the new system that we're going to have, especially for the parliamentary and other big areas, if they don't project women, there are certain areas, it's just women candidates that will be there. So no matter what party wins, a woman is the person that will represent that particular area. So that is something that is laudable. Yeah, so in time to come, if a woman is not giving the nod, then it means they'll disqualify the entire area.
See, now we are talking.
And that is putting a lot of weight. Yes, it's putting a lot of weight behind us, and the punishment for abusing women has gone very, very high. Yes, and you cannot even try to waste your life in prison for doing something bad to a woman. So these are all the things that are really, encouraging women now. A lot of women I knew before now, they were very shy of the front line in anything, are coming out now. They're coming out. And it's getting better for us in Sierra Leone. Yes.
Governmental support.
Yes. And when the president himself champions something like that, it's a different thing altogether.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So hint, Ghana, affirmative action bill, hint, just a hint.
I will.
No, but it's a great place. Ghana is great. We're working well here. We have enough support. As they said earlier, that's the gospel truth. It is very, very good here. But I had to also bring what's happening in my country as we speak now, because it's not a secret. It's out there. So I had to bring that in also. But it's a good environment we have here in Ghana as well.
Let me give you my version. If not, I cannot sleep today. Because I'm like that very woman. I must
You
sleep.
have to sleep today.
Let me tell you, this lady here, she's finishing her PhD. Then also, she's a diplomat. She has 3 children, yes?
Yes.
And also, she's making her PhD. And I'm so proud of her. And the first time that I met them, it was in the Norwegian ambassador's house, yes?
Yes.
In a meeting of all ladies ambassador. It was my first time, then I was very nervous on this, but you know, as I am, I went there. Like normal. And this lady here, she was very worried about some widows that they were living in the street and they were raped and all this. And she told us, we need to go to help them. Can you give us some food or clothes and this? That lady said, then I will do it for sure. And I said, let's give them a different thing. Let's give them the opportunity to have health for free, and a little education on health. And then began that project that we talked with Harriet in diplomatic affairs. This big project that we have now, Cuba and Ghana for health, because of that lady and that one that helped us.
And
we
this
did
one.
it together.
And this one.
Actually, for me, it was only the idea. Then we did it together. This is the way
Right.
that we must practice sorority. Sorority is to help others when they are in discrimination gender. Then when you have a problem, you need another woman to help you. You don't have to fight, and I must tell you again, we don't have to fight against man. We must work together with them. And we must have the same opportunities. Actually, my country is different. You know, we achieve a lot because we have a socialist revolution, and that means that you must change everything from the structure, from the very beginning, from roots. And we had Fidel Castro that made us different. Yes. But when I heard them, and actually when that lady quote in our group of ambassadors, her president, for me was I was proud also, and it's not my president.
Right. I'm proud.
That's good, and then we need that.
Yes.
Right.
And for me, yes, together we can do more.
Right.
And we must bring men along. We must journey with them as well. During this initiative that we did, we had our from our diplomatic corps, we had male ambassadors that went with us, that supported us. Our Mexican ambassador, may his soul rest in eternal peace. He was there. The Kenyan High Commissioner was there.
The Peruvian ambassador.
Dean, the High Commissioner of Nigeria was there.
And the Peruvian
Were there to support us so that they also get to experience and also support us in our journeys. And yes, as you rightfully said, we've got leaders that support the importance of women and gender. As you've indicated, your president, I can say the same, President Ramaphosa as well. But where we are in Ghana as well, and looking continentally as well, the President of the Republic of Ghana, President Akufo-Addo, is also the champion at the AU for women. And these are some of the things that makes it easy when we get to engage and we talk about issues relating to women, gender parity, inclusivity, designing programs. So that for me is together we can do so much more.
Right. We can do more. So now let's talk about our weak points. I mean, we've taken our highs, and our highs are beautiful because we are doing it together. But where are the areas? What are the areas where you think that we can do more? Areas where we think we are lacking.
First in education.
Education.
I think we women need more education just to be free. Only education can give you freedom. If not, you won't be free. If you know that your body is yours, if you know that you can dress as you want, if you know all that stereotypes that she was talking about are not real, you can change your world. And actually, when normally men, they are afraid of us. That's why they are trying to push us. I'm so sorry for them. So sorry. Don't.
It's an inferiority. Yes, it's inferiority. inferiority. That's all it is.
But we are the same. We are in the same level.
Right.
And then when they see that we can do more, they can, and they will join us.
Right.
But it depends on us. Depends on us to work together and to do more things together. Just them to know and to learn that they can come with us, and they can achieve more with us, not against us.
Against that.
Well, I think the education aspect that Annette was trying to talk about, it is not just academia. It is the renewal of the mind.
Of the mindset.
That is it. Because when somebody talks about education, somebody will just think, oh, just get a lot of papers. You can get all the papers in this world, but if your mind is not renewed, you forget about it, because I'll talk about
value is the
Africa
same.
and the West, because that's where I come from. That's where I've spent 99% of my life. You know how it is. You grow up. That's the general aspect of it all. You grow up knowing that as a woman, you behave in a certain way. You go to certain places. You wear certain things, and at certain points in time, you do certain things, and certain other things are left for other people who are not women. But if we have to go side by side with the men, we have to renew our minds. And Annette was right in saying that when you do it that way, you get the men to see that, no, we're not in competition with them. We're just at par with them, And there are so many times we help, and we guide them. We shape them up, and then we move together. As a mom, God has blessed me with both sexes, so I can tell you for free that the way the boys behave is different from the way the girls will behave. So you see, it is just for you to shape them up properly and know that no, you go this way. You are not better than this. You are, God has made all of us the same. Just know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and see how you can minimize your weaknesses, and then put your strengths on the high side. And for me, that has been a guide. I was fortunate to come from a home where my parents did not think women should be in a certain area or not, because my mom was very educated. She was even a lecturer, and she was very supportive of my dad. And my dad was also very supportive of everything my mom wanted to do. So I grew up in that kind of environment. But there are other people I saw growing up, my friends, that had different upbringings. So you be able to put all that together and know that, no, when you're dealing with people, first, try to know where they come from, how they've been groomed, and then you'll be able to understand them, and then we all move. So it comes back to the same thing. As a woman, you would definitely want to do certain things. Our temper too, and the way God has made us, we react differently than how a man will react. Certain things, a man will get angry, and you will be very calm about it. But there are things you will not take that a man will take. So you see the differences. You also have to put them on the weighing scale, and then mold. That's the word. Mold everything, and then we can minimize the weaknesses, and then not a SWOT analysis, so to speak. We try to minimize the weaknesses, and then you put the others.
We lower the volume a little, and we increase the volume a little.
Yeah. For
Weaknesses.
me, education, but I'm so humbled by the opportunity that I'm now studying gender, peace and security. And I'm sure my lecturers know that I do read. And for me, all the concepts that both Annette and Francis are speaking about, for me, I'm like, yes, I did that in the course that spoke about sexuality, masculinity, perceptions of women, just the whole fundamental discourse around gender. But I am personally passionate about young girls. For me, that's where I want to start the education, because when you want to change society, you have to start with in Francis's house, the boys and the girls. That's where you start. I'm blessed with 3 daughters, and I'd probably be best with in-laws, sons, once they get married. But for now, and I have got nephews, and I understand, but my 3 daughters as well, this is where it starts at home with these young girls. Educate the boys, educate the young girls so that they begin to understand. And once you provide that education for these young ones, for women, and this is where we become role models, where young girls will look up to us and say, you know, I also want to be a woman ambassador. I also want to go into diplomacy. The way we become role models where they can visualize, you know, humans are very visual people. Once you see, you get to experience, and then we become role models. And as women, we are nurturers, we are mothers, we are professionals. We do more than what men do, generally. So the opportunities that we provide, you raise one girl, you raise a whole community.
They are the
And
future.
that is women.
They are the future.
They are just the future. And for me, my experience also in the work that I've been doing for the past 2 years here in Ghana is I've had opportunities of attending the educational classes by the Minister of Education, STEM education.
Right.
And that's just revolutionizing education and for young girls. Get them into spaces. When we talk now, we're talking digitization. We are talking fourth industrial revolution. The theme also for International Women's Day, digit all. I think it's deliberate and conscious to talk about digit. So that our young girls must be able to be the ones that will be found in all spaces in society. But it'll start with us as mothers, as nurturers. You raise one girl and we're raising communities. And as women, we are going to raise nations.
You know, and the confidence of the children really is very important. That's why I was saying that when their minds are renewed, our own minds should be renewed. So that's the way we'll be able to nurture these people so that they grow up and know that you can be everything you want to be. There's nothing that can stop you. The only thing or only person that can stop you is yourself. So you go out there and then you do that which you know you should do. And so with that kind of confidence, I would bring an example to my own daughter. She's the baby last, and she tells me that she's going to be greater than me. Yes, she has told me that on 4 occasions. Wow. Yes, and she proved it in one of the instances. She had to run for an office in her school. She's in year 6. Then she was in year 5. And then she told me, I have to put a manifesto together. And to my surprise, at that level, this girl refused to allow me help her write anything. And she would be like, no, you can't take credit for something that I am going to get.
I love her.
Yes. And seriously, she wrote her daughter. She wrote this. Right.
She sees what the mother does in her house, campaigning and
manifesting. And she came to me.
Because this lady is a politician also in Sierra Leone. Also, yeah.
Sees the mother. Women, they see
and she came to me and wanted a flyer, like the flyers, the stick and flyers, so that she would put on the lockers at school for the pupils to vote. And I was just amazed that even the school is supporting something like that. So I, in every way possible, whatever support that in that area we can render, I rally around my colleagues. And then we do it, to them. Last year, Annette, you see this lady, we're always together. She supported me and the school last year to celebrate their cultural day. And then this year, Grace was there with me. They give them a platform to showcase their talents. So, they do this all-round thing. So if we, as parents, can start it from, as mothers, can start it from the home, it makes it a lot easier for them. It is not just for the girls. The boys alike. I have seen women who single-handedly raised boys into very responsible men and who are taking very, very big and leading roles in their countries. I have seen that. So it is not per se that you need, you need to be an extra or superhuman. It can be done. If your mind tells you can do it, you just need to program yourself, and it is done.
Talking
love
about
this.
weaknesses, all them weaknesses and limits are here.
Right.
But
Exactly.
there is something very interesting that maybe it's not for this show, it will be for another, because it's
Oh,
something very
are we
huge.
having a second show? Oh, I love this.
It's something that is very huge, and it's the digital media. Digital media is very bad for all things that women will make. Talking about the clothes they are imposing you that you must wear. Talking about the
Have to look like
the
this.
behavior, and no, this is not. They are not taking actions. They are like we said, too many words and no actions.
Yeah.
Right,
And in
right.
digital media, you are spending too much time. What for?
Right.
You need to take actions there in the field. You must go and work with them. Then this is, I think, one of the weaknesses that we have right now. But it depends on you to change that. To
Yes.
leave the phone there and to continue and working and to learn every day a new thing. Not only talking about gender. If you learn every day a new thing, you will be better.
Right.
Or do something like
Knowledge,
she's
yes.
doing, studying gender, because she can help us more from the theory.
Right.
The theory, yeah.
Right. 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 Ooh, right.
But digital media is killing us.
Right.
Not only women, it's killing our men and
world. Oh, yes.
And women get abused on
The bullying.
on the
Bullying.
bullying, the sexual harassment, and the bullying on all of these platforms, and we should be protecting women.
So we need to decide how we want to engage
Yes.
with it. For instance, the amount of time you want to spend on social media a day. Because if we are being truthful, especially for my age and younger, we are virtually on there. Perhaps we have 24 hours. Let's say 10 hours of the day spent
and
on
we
social media.
wake up and then we go directly to the phone, and
Yes.
that's not healthy.
Right. Right. Ooh, that's food for thought.
Mentally, it's not.
And if you see, that thing that we listen in Cuba, reggaeton, the music, when you see those videos, oh my God, they are selling us. They are selling all those videos. Are there with ladies with the very short shorts, And then why this is not the idea that I have for a woman?
Images.
We can dance,
The
we can,
images, yes.
but
The portrayals
we
of women.
cannot be a stereotype. Yeah?
Right.
And then those are the stereotypes, yes.
Right. Right. Ooh.
But we determine how we are perceived.
Right.
I determine how I want to be treated first.
Exactly.
I determine how you should respect me. If you do not respect me, don't come into my space.
Exactly.
But that's a right we have because we are independent and we are in a good position. But let's think on
Yes,
those
of
that are
course,
in
those that are
villages
not,
and
yes.
this.
Right.
It's difficult.
No, but that's what she is saying. You don't really, you see, Annette, it comes to the same thing. Whether or not you are up there or down there, if your mind is renewed, honestly, a lot of these things will just change. The confidence, they have to build it in themselves. Nobody will do it for you. There are certain things no one can do for you. For instance, childbirth. No matter how your mom loves you, they can go with you into that labor ward. We've been there before. Nobody can push the baby out. You have to do it yourself. So it's the same thing. There are times we should also encourage these women. Look, the pity party thing will not help. You'd have to lift yourself from that level. It doesn't matter if you're up there or down there too. Your determination will help you to push yourself from down there to up there.
That's very good. You are as individual. But when you go to a village, and
Well,
then
that's it.
you know there is a normal thing you to be raped. That your first sexual relation.
Yes.
We
is
can
to be
help.
raped.
We can help
But
talk to them.
Yes, but
if
I'm
they are not
trying you to
willing-
understand, but from us, we can be in a different way. But when you go to those places, you realize that it's difficult. Then it's
Annette-
not only for a girl to change her mind. It's also there must be some policies to help them from the top.
Yes, we
Okay.
have to provide.
It's not
You
only
are-
the
you were
individual
correct.
to
Yes.
protect
yes, to
them.
protect them, to be
Because,
as an umbrella for them.
Young like young girls going into marriages. I mean, if you 12 years old, you are just but a child.
Goodness.
If my daughter, who is now 16, even the youngest, still a baby, would be
They think
getting
they are
married.
woman,
I
but
mean,
they are not,
really.
yeah.
Right.
My eldest is 23, and I also don't see her married yet. You know, finish your school, do your postgraduate, get a job, and you know. But child marriages, abuse and rape, and it's the most vulnerable of societies. There where you find you getting raped, and sometimes we as women we also stay in relationships because. What is Francis going to say if I get out of this
Right.
relationship?
Right.
And I put on the facade that all
Right.
is well, I am happy.
Acceptability.
Yet I am being abused at home. Domestically, I get beaten up. But when I come out and I meet Anette and Francis, and I put on that beautiful face and all is well at home, and I have to keep up this abuse because of what society expects of me. You get raped, you get abused, and also if you also don't have any access to, if you are in a home where there's a breadwinner, and you are not working, you have to depend on this man for everything, for your personal, for of course the uptake, the kids' education, home, and everything, and depend on a man for, you know, things like your toiletries, things that. And when you become so vulnerable and you get abused, you sit in that abuse because not only about what Anette is going to say, but you know, I have to stick it for the sake of the kids.
Your very existence.
I have to, you know, just tolerate it. It will get better. And we begin to make excuses for this man and say, okay, he was not in a good mood. He came back from work and he's under pressure.
For a year, for 2 years, and the
so
same
it
thing.
goes on, and so it goes on, and so it goes on. And what history tells us is that if you also live in abusive homes, your sons are going to, the cycle continues. Your daughters are going to see that, okay, this is normal. My mom stayed in this home, so I'm just going to have to put up with it. It will get better. Our sons become abusive because it was normal, it happened at home. So we are just repeating cycles here, and we need to protect the most vulnerable of women. Gender-based violence and the killing of women and our young girls, and I'm saying in South Africa we have policies now on gender-based violence because girls are being killed, and young girls also then get lured into economic benefits. There's your sugar daddy kind of phenomena, not necessarily, but we need to educate our young girls. We need to provide policies for them and to speak up against gender-based violence
Absolutely.
and any forms of it.
It is very, very, very true. Now, for Sierra Leone, for instance, because our president is such a strong he for she champion, he had this big program, you know, for for girls, you know, to help take them away from all this abuse, and also he set up this hands off our girls that the first lady is executing now, and it is really moving like wildfire.
Right.
And he had to do new laws. They had to do new laws. Parliament passed it, you know, into a bill. And if you rape a girl now, instead of the 15 years or so, you get life imprisonment, because he has also repealed the criminal libel law.
Yes.
He also repealed that, and the death penalty. I'm sorry. So now you will not die, but you spend the rest of your life.
That now we are talking
That we are talking
And
about
so you see, that's
technical-
why I'm saying now you were right that we the people in some certain areas,
They
you know,
need
those deprived areas,
protection.
we cannot get to them. But
I
look,
should
we
make
all have to
sentences.
help because government will do its part. If we do
Yes.
not,
Collectively.
do it,
ONGs
collaborate
and-
with the
yeah.
government, it will be a wasted effort. So
Right.
we all have to put our hands together.
Right.
For Sierra Leone, honestly, I'm telling you, it is strong. You can check yourself. It's very strong right now. There are no jokes.
Right. As you are speaking now, I got my idea for our next show.
Oh.
I got my idea for our next show. Representation. And this is the biggest criticism against powerful women. And I would wish that we could have a conversation around it.
On what
where
criticism?
The criticism is that a lot of these laws, a lot of these ideas, a lot of these activism and advocacy is only for the women at the top. That it doesn't go down to the women. That's a whole. Don't comment, please. Save it for when we have that conversation. Because I want us to have that conversation.
Yeah.
As you are role models. Now, when we dream of powerful women, this is it, right? This is it. This is what I'm looking at. Oh, yes. This is it, right? But then it has to be all women. And so, unfortunately for you, your burden becomes bigger. Because you're at the top. And the rest of us are here. I want us to have that conversation one of these days.
You just made me.
Representation.
You said we shouldn't say anything.
No.
You're saying we shouldn't say anything about this, but what you just
When
said.
you say something
No,
now.
I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you that this was what AULO, the African Women in Leadership Organization,
Yes.
pulled me to Nigeria. That was 2020. 2020.
Right.
Yes, just before COVID said a very big hello. That was in December. So I was in Ikeja, Lagos at the Sheraton to do as the guest of honor for this same thing that you just said. And they put me to test immediately after my speech.
How?
And I didn't even know it was a test.
How?
After saying all those things, if the tables are not enough, we build our own instead.
Right.
And then if there are no seats, we carry our own seats there. And we also do not forget those that are down there.
Absolutely.
That do not have the kind of voice and platforms that we have.
Absolutely.
And just after everything, the women were on one side, and then they put me with some other dignitaries at the other side. And I said, no, this is not right. That's my place. So I moved, and they were like, oh, we tested you, so you did not just say it, you meant what you were saying. So imagine, I had felt comfortable with the other group where they put me. And you know me, we had to do a whole party. The dancing was really, really good. And the networking was superb. And tomorrow, a lot of the women I met there, I'm very much in touch with them. And most of them are working outside of Africa in very good establishments in the world. So these are the things. You don't need to know them. We definitely need to make provision for those that are down there.
As we go.
But then,
Because if you go alone, you'll be a loner.
Can
Definitely.
we come again for?
Yes.
She's asking us.
I thought we had settled on that already.
But it will depend
But
on
there is something
availability.
important.
In principle, we agree.
Yes.
We talk only about physical violence.
Yeah.
But
We'll
there
talk-
is another that is, from my point of view, worse, the psychological one.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
And all of us, every day, we are
Abused.
abused. Every day.
In different ways, yes.
When you go to media, when you go to, then you are abused.
You're
It's
abused.
true. It's true.
Here in
It's true.
any part of the country.
I agree.
Actually, in my country, we have the same salary that men. But there are some places that ladies, they take 15% less than a man. Then it's difficult, and they say they are free.
I want us to
The
take a break.
consciousness of understanding who we are.
You see, that's a third topic.
She knows it.
I want us to take a break. When we come back, Your Excellencies, let's do the call to action. Call to action. Call to action. Take a break with us. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
This program is proudly brought to you by Malta Guinness.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Progressive Woman's Show. My name is Ama Pratt. I have been doing this with, my women of power who are still graciously with us here in the studio. We've been having conversations around our successes, the places that we feel we need to pat ourselves on the back and say, hey, go ladies. We've had conversations around places that we need to do better, in terms of our weaknesses. I think the one that was really highlighted was in the area of education, not just formal education, but also just the renewal of our minds, reorientation, how we see ourselves, personal perception, and how we engage. We've had those conversations with particular emphasis on young girls. But now we want to have the most perhaps important conversation of all, the call to action. What do we do? How do we do better? And of course, we started from here, right here in the studio.
Actually, I won't give lessons, but I can tell you what we did in our country.
Right.
For a long time, we are giving all students in the school from fourth grade, we are giving civic. And this is a very important thing because they talk also about sexual education. They talk also about the roles in the society. And this is a way to educate on gender from the very beginning to the children. But it is also good to talk to the families. And we have a plan for families to take care of their life and this. And there are social workers that go because we practice a very hard social protection in Cuba. And as I told you, I don't want to give lessons. It's just you to know how we are doing this in Cuba. At the beginning of the revolution, ladies, they couldn't work because they didn't have a place to leave their children. Now we have kindergarten. They are almost free. They are very, 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 very cheap. Just we women, we can have the opportunity to leave our children take good care of them and go to our works. And that's, I think, some ideas that ladies can try to have in their countries too. Because we cannot think from our side. We are in a different position. But let's think on a girl that needs to go to the work and she doesn't have a very good salary. And then how can she work if she doesn't have the money to give the son or the daughter to a person to take care of it? It's very difficult to go to the university or to go to study or to do anything, or maybe to take care of the hair. Because we deserve also that time for us.
Right, self-care.
Sometimes I'm running all the time. I say, I have to do this and this. I say, stop.
Right.
You must watch a film.
Right.
You must take care of your beauty. You must, because you deserve it.
Absolutely.
You must read a book. You must listen to some music. Why not?
Wow.
But why are they so I'm looking at.
Listen, I'm telling you. You've taken us into zones.
I have never tell you how do I cut my hair. I take a machine.
You cut your hair yourself.
I did it only once because it was too short. Now I ask a friend to help me, but just to pass the machine and finish. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Every 15 days, then I finish, and then I don't have any problem.
And it saves 30 minutes taking care of yourself.
I know, every day. Every day.
No, actually for me it's 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Every day. They put some gel and then finish and
you
go. Yeah.
So liberating, my goodness. And these are the conversations that we need
Be
to have.
comfortable
Because,
in
you see,
your skin.
a man will never understand this conversation we are having right now. Because for him, it's not even an issue. He gets up in the morning, he takes a shower, he wears his shirt, his trousers, he's out the door, he's gone. It's a whole different
Before
conversation.
you even get there, who has prepared that shirt?
Oh my goodness. Ironed it.
And yes, there's somebody that does that part.
But there is another problem. They don't like ladies that don't take care of them. Then,
I think in their minds, they have self-cleaning houses. In their minds, their houses clean themselves. It's just
there is a robot or something.
Take off a shirt, throw it on the floor. Can you not see the laundry basket? I can't.
my God.
Right.
But to be simple is better, you know.
Right.
You don't need too much.
Right.
And then you have more time
Right.
as them because they are
Right.
very simple,
Right.
but the society don't tell them that they have to be like this and blah blah blah.
Right, right, absolutely. So the areas that we have to do more. So you are speaking about policy, I saying civic education. So we catch them young, you know, right from the beginning. You're also talking about sexual education, which is so
Yes, it's very
important. Because we don't even own our sexuality as women.
But we must understand that our body is ours.
Right.
No one have the right to touch you if you don't want. No one have the right to take a picture of you if you don't want.
Right. Right.
That's important, and even it is more important if to take care of. There are some things happen with young ladies that they take picture of them and then someone take them and put it online
Oh, cyberbullying. Yeah. Right.
and put it online.
You just send me nudes.
And then that's a big problem.
Right.
That's a big problem.
Right. Right.
And then in that case, government must protect women.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, the way forward, definitely, civic education will be number one.
Right.
For Sierra Leone, we started under this current dispensation of His Excellency the President.
I love your president.
That's-
I must tell you. I know you front of the camera. I love your president. I love more mine, but I love your president.
If you listen to him talk passionately about women, you will understand where he's come from. You know, he everything he is today, he attributes it to his mother and his elder sister. Those are the two women in his life that actually made sure he got an education because he was very young. He was like 4 years when his dad died. So his mom, who did not even go to school, ensured that he got education and later went on to his elder sister. So these people, you know, put a lot of effort in making sure that he becomes the person he is today. So he is very passionate about the girl child and about women. So I would always have to give him that credit because he's showing it in everything he does, honestly. And so this civic education, he did not just limit it to Sierra Leone. He actually got, there are some Ghanaians that work with us, you know, and definitely our people championed it there, but he made sure that a lot of people came together to put a lot of things together. Civic education is really on the rise in Sierra Leone, and we've realized that with the free and quality education that he brought when he came to power in 2018, it has helped. A lot of children are in school. Those who otherwise will not be able to get a single cent, you know, to do anything, and he's feeding them as well. So 21% of the government of our GDP is into education. 21%. So you can imagine what is happening in our country, and well, it's making waves. So that's why I would always refer to that. So now you understand why I would always have to make reference to him.
No, but I told
and
you,
what
I
he is
love
doing.
him.
No, you know, when your leader operates. No, wait. Yes, you will speak. When your leader operates in that trajectory, you really feel comfortable.
Right.
You know, as a woman, I am very confident because just in his message for the Women's International Day, he said, for Sierra Leone, the future is female.
Future is female.
Yes, it's there.
Absolutely.
She will
He
be a
supports
president
us.
one day.
And he's making us strong.
I
But
told
he's
her
making
from
us-
the very beginning.
He's making us very confident.
Listen.
We must support her.
I'm knocking on wood for this one. Yes.
Anette, I love your president.
Yes, I love him. Yeah.
And not because I'm accredited to Sierra Leone also. I love your president and I love the work that he's doing. I also, in education, I also love your president, President Akufo-Addo, for the free senior high education as well. As you're saying, the same policy, education, and that's where it starts, education. I love President Matamela Ramaphosa as well for the work that we do in South Africa. And I can go on, but just to say that policy, and we've come to a stage that there has to be affirmative action. One, policies to get harsher sentences for perpetrators. those that abuse women, that they get longer jail time. The justice system must ensure that you do not kill women, and then the system then allows you to get into society again after a week. So those harsher sentences, those are policies that are in place as well. Inclusivity of women in government. In our parliament, we have, I think, if I think about the ratios as of last year, 49%. We can still do more.
49%.
In cabinet,
Whoa, I want to clap.
in cabinet, it's 50%.
What?
Of representativity,
50%
of representativity in cabinet. And of course, then it should then just trickle down to all structures, governance, but in private sector as well, and more education. And we all agree that education, that's where we start. Sexual education in our curriculums. Then you have life skills. That's where you then educate the boys and the girls about their sexuality, and also for girls to understand sexual autonomy of your body. But also that we provide, so we also have in communities collaboration with your security, we call it community policing forums, where if there's anybody that is suspected of violence or doing, then you have the community policing forums and communities, school governing bodies, all the structures to collaborate for us to do it together. And continentally now, and as we speak at the African Union, we speak about women. It is always on the agenda, at the apex of every rhetoric and discourse that our leaders have at the AU. They must speak about women. You talk about trade, you cannot speak about an African continental free trade area that is successful for this continent without speaking about women and youth. So, yeah.
And another thing that I think we must talk is about health.
Health. Ooh.
The right to health, in some cases, it is very important. For example, with when they are pregnant, I say they because I won't be pregnant again. I just want. But
you and me both.
When we ladies, we are pregnant, yeah, or when they are raped.
Right.
And here in Ghana, you are doing well with that because you are giving a free health for those cases. Yes. But it is important. It is important. It is very important to do it.
Right. I have had an amazing time. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can't say thank you enough.
What
thank
she
you.
wants to cut us.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's lunch.
Yes. In fact, you just say jump, and I'll ask you how high. Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure, an absolute honor. And I have to say to you, keep inspiring, keep leading. You know, we are taking inspiration from you. We are cheering you on from the back, and please hold us and carry us as you go. Thank you. I can't say that enough. So this has been our show. This has been the International Women's Day edition of the Progressive Woman Show. Today we have been looking at the broader theme of embracing equity. And like I said before, I have the bragging right to say I hosted 3 countries, in the studio. I hope you enjoyed it. Half as much as I did. I have to say thank you to Her Excellency Grace Jeanet Mason, South African High Commissioner to Ghana. Thank you to you, Her Excellency Anette Chao Garcia, Ambassador of the Republic of Cuba. Thank you to you, Her Excellency Frances Virginia Anderson, Sierra Leonean High Commissioner to Ghana. And I have to say a special thank you to you, our chief organizer, and to trust that you're going to make this happen again.
You will pay me.
I will. Listen. I will pay you in hugs and kisses. I'll pay you in hugs, kisses, and all of that. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. And in all of our doings, in all of our gettings, let's embrace equity. I'll see you next week. Bye.
This program is proudly brought to you by Malta Guinness. So, you all know your number one beer, Guinness, comes in the bold black bottle. Well, I have great news for you all. Guinness Ghana has now introduced Guinness in cans, so you all can enjoy the bold black liquid for all occasions. It has the same great taste and is made right here in Ghana. With Guinness in a can, now there are more ways you can enjoy your Guinness. Enjoy the same Guinness you're used to, but now in a can for your convenience. Same Guinness, same taste. With Guinness in cans, you can. Same great taste and made right here in Ghana. Drink responsibly. Not recommended for persons under 18 years of age. Not suitable for pregnant women. Don't drink and drive. If you drink, don't drive.